The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. This is historic. For more than 10 years, a massive door sat tightly shut in the middle of the Sahara Desert. That door connected Niger and Libya. It was completely shut when Muammar Gaddafi fell, putting the region into a long, dark winter of instability. But on June 15, 2026, that door was officially kicked wide open. The moment Niger's Prime Minister Ali Mahamadou Lamine landed in Tripoli, Western media outlets looked at the pictures and called it a routine visit. They called it a simple handshake between neighbors. They are completely wrong. This is not a photo opportunity. This was a massive geopolitical earthquake. Think about the team Niger put on that plane. The Prime Minister did not travel with a few junior assistants. He brought the top diplomat, Foreign Minister Bakari Yu Sagari. More importantly, he brought Brigadier General Ibru Amadou Bacharu. This general is the personal chief of staff to Niger's leader. All in all, General Abdurrahmani Chiani. When you send your prime minister, your foreign minister, and the president's right-hand general on the exact same flight, you are not sending a greeting card. You are sending a clear message that you are ready to reshape the map. To understand why this meeting shakes up the entire region, you have to look at how geography can trap a country. Niger is a massive nation, but it is completely landlocked. It does not touch the ocean anywhere. For an economy to breathe, for businesses to grow, and for goods to move, access to the sea is absolute oxygen. For decades, Niger had only one real option. It had to look south and west towards the Gulf of Guinea. All the trade routes ran down through neighbors to the coast. But over the last few years, those southern routes became a nightmare. They became heavily targeted by T groups and rebels who constantly attack cargo trucks. On top of that, whenever regional politics got messy, those southern neighbors used the trade routes as a political whip, squeezing Niger's supply lines to force them into submission. By flying north to Tripoli, Niger is changing the entire board. Libya sits directly between Niger and Mediterranean Sea. The Mediterranean is the ultimate highway to the wealthy markets of Europe and the rest of the world. By building a secure trade corridor running straight through the desert to Libya ports, Niger is buying a second door to the outside world. This completely changes Niger's bargaining power with every other country on the continent. The moment you have two completely different roads to the sea, no single gatekeeper can ever hold your country by the throat again. That is not just trade. That is true independence. But building this northern road is like walking on broken glass. The political reality inside Libya is incredibly messy. The leader who welcomed Niger's team, Abdulhamid Dabi, runs the official government in the West. based in Tripoli. But Libya is deeply split. The eastern and southern parts of the country are controlled by a completely different military force led by Khalifa Haftar. Here is the twist. The actual border where Niger and Libya meet is in the deep south. Tripoli does not physically control that depth. Haftar forces do. That means that Niger is signing economic deals in the west with leaders who do not actually hold the keys to the physical border gates in the south. Those border gates have real names that matter, like the Salvador Pass, the Tum Crossing, and the Wadi Buga checkpoint. These are not just empty spaces in the sand. They are the most important choke points in the entire Sahara. Every single moving between West Africa and Europe funnels through these narrow desert gaps. We are talking about fuel, consumer goods, weapons, and thousands of migrants. Whoever holds these gates controls the security of the entire region. Lately, this desert border has been a war zone. Earlier this year, heavily armed groups launched a coordinated ambush on Haftar's border post, unaliving soldiers and capturing an officer before escaping back into the Rock Mountain towards Niger. In response, Haftar forces completely locked down the southern area, creating a massive unified military brigade to guard the frontier. This is exactly why Niger brought a top general to the meeting. Now you understand. Niger desperately needs that northern border to be tightly sealed. Rebel groups and non-state actors use these route desert paths to hide, run weapons, and resupply their forces before launching bloody attacks inside Niger. If Niger and Libya can successfully coordinate their military actions, they can trap these armed groups in the desert and choke them out completely. This is about two independent nations standing shoulder to shoulder to protect their borders from absolute chaos. Running right through the center of this security crisis is the human tragedy of migration. For a long time, the Salvador Pass has been the main highway for people traveling from sub-Saharan Africa towards the Mediterranean coast, hoping to reach Europe. The Sahara Desert is completely merciless. Thousands of people have lost their lives in the scorching heat, disappearing into the sun long before they ever smell the ocean. Niger is one of the few countries doing the heavy, heartbreaking work of recovering the remains of these migrants from the deep desert. They are not treating migration simply as security problem to be locked away. They are dealing directly with the devastating human cost, trying to bring order and dignity to a chaotic frontier. This conversation is happening at a time when the entire African continent is having a tense debate about borders, illegal migration like in South Africa, and national identity. By tackling these issues, treaties together, Niger and Libya are trying to fix a broken system that everyone else has ignored. When you step back and look at the big picture, you are watching a brand new foreign policy in motion. Just a short while ago, Niger made the historic decision to walk completely away from the regional bloc or ECOWAS. The regional economic bloc, alongside its partners, Mali and Burkina Faso, in the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. When that split happened, Western analysts and regional leaders predicted a disaster. They warned that Niger will end up completely isolated, stranded in the cold and ruined without its traditional alliance. But this trip to Tripoli proves that those predictions were completely wrong. Niger is showing to the world that it is the most diplomatic ally, active player in the entire Sahel region. While others might take a rigid, close-off stand, Niger is out on the road, shaking hands, reviving old treaties, and finding new partners. They are proving that a sovereign African country can leave the old colonial structures and still build powerful international alliances entirely on its own terms. For generations, the world assumes that a country like Niger had to accept whatever friends it was handed and follow whatever script was written for it by foreign masses. Those days are officially over. Niger is rewriting its own destiny in real time. It looked at the map, rejected the old restrictions, and created a brand new path to the world. What do you think about this massive shift? Do you believe this northern road through Libya is the ultimate move for Niger's independence? Or do you think the deep division inside Libya will make this path too dangerous to succeed? And looking at the collapse of the old regional rules, do you think the Sahel is finally achieving true sovereignty? Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Niger.